Alright, you have to work me out, Wes. I don't speak to this chap, yeah? It's alright. Well, it's on the thing, innit? Right, I'll show you over there for a second. Got the postcode, yeah? Yeah, please. Alright. I can stop doing this sometimes. What? What's going on? You have to go to the data. What we do, give me the colleagues come on a job, right? And basically, to a different person. Okay, so what we have to do...
Alright mate, hang on. Right, well the car's not in the car.
No, we're not fixing that.
Can you take the clamp off it?
It's not even on it.
Can you take the clamp off the car then? I've already asked him twice and it's
It's not even on. Right, so what we have to do, okay, we have to do a warrant match, okay, and it'll tell us at the address what warrants are outstanding, okay, and we do that for a simple reason, it saves time, okay, and if we walk away, and then the next day another officer attends, it's not fair to the occupant, okay, so the officer's done a warrant match.
What did you say? You can't dictate what we do all the time.
Yes, we can.
Private property, right? Well, we've got a court warrant. Right,
But that's yet to be established.
We've had the implied rights of access removed, so we remove the same what?
You're ID.
You don't show any ID at all?
You're a third party, I'm not going to discuss this.
You're a third party. I think you should see
you're a third party.
You're a third party.
Stop that out to me first, please.
I would not.
Intimidation.
Stop walking towards me.
Coming into my personal space.
I'm warning you. Well, stop invading my personal space. You're walking towards me.
Right, you're walking
towards the video, you muppet. Yes, you are. You're a muppet.
So we'll tell us by the door. He's authorised me to speak to him on his behalf. He's now refusing. Come and have a chat with me. You speak with me. He's now refusing.
You're the one you should like that. Muppets. The officer will send us to your desk, okay, for a previous tenant. What we have to do when we send an address is a warrant, okay, it will tell us any address, any warrant past and present, okay, at that address. The gentleman's got application, so the warrant...
They don't want you here. This lady is asking you to go away because she doesn't want the publicity.
What's up, pal? So help us. Why don't you swing you up?
We've got a right to be here.
No, you don't.
What engaging now, though? No, we've got some grown-ups trying to go.
We have a system on our phones where it shows what's live and active, okay? And the reason why we do it is because, like I said to you, if an officer attends, okay, doesn't do a warrant match, okay, and then it's written off, okay, and then tomorrow they get another officer, it's not fair to the occupants, okay? So what they do a warrant match on the address and it's come back, there's a warrant live and active for this gentleman, okay?
But we still need stamped and sealed by the court.
This is what I'm saying to you, right, and this is where we will have a difference of opinion, okay? We basically don't need a warrant, okay? And the warrant, honestly, right, listen to me, the warrant, okay, is computer, and you need to look up this, right, it's computer generated, and all the senior officers, the GMP, will know that it's downloaded. You can shake your head, mate, but if you can think, if you get a judge, you want to see a signed warrant, the amount of fines out there, you would have a judge just sat there in an office signing warrants, would you not?
You've got to have the document and do it digitally.
That's what it is, it's digitally downloaded. Right.
It's against the Magna Carta.
Right, okay, well, I'm afraid it's not, mate. Okay, and this is where...
So here's the difference, because you work off Acts and Statutes, we work off common law.
Yeah.
Common law doesn't Magna Carta, what we're talking about.
See, I'll be honest with you, I'm not...
Well, even the police don't even understand common law.
Do you know what next year is?
What, sorry?
It's the 800th anniversary of the signing of the Magna Carta.
Right, okay.
So it's going to be the most...
Well, mate, just... You know what I mean? Bloody hell.
Sorry, that's what I'm
Right.
Oh, it's driving all over.
So, this is one of your colleagues, you spoke to somebody from Southport, Mr. Malcolm, I think it was.
Yeah, I've spoke to
Well, he said, what acts and statutes do you work by? Well, I don't work by any acts and statutes, because acts and statutes only come into law, or come into effect if you consent to be governed by a bunch of paedophiles who are running the country. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
No, listen, I've said to John, I said, I respect what you do, but we're here to do a job, like, you know what I mean, and it's nothing personal. I respect what you did the other night as well, Wes. Thanks for that, appreciate it.
I'm not like that,
no, I know that, mate. I know.
Just a bit,
The law around in this country is common law.
You can't force them. Who? What, is that all footprints down on the door?
Right, got footmarks there.
Well, they point that out to the police on the butcher.
The officer, you're challenging the paperwork, but the paperwork, like your guy does, we know that he doesn't, okay, and this is where we are going to have, okay, the discrepancy.
It doesn't give you the authority to put the door in though, does it?
They don't kick the door in.
I'll just put footprints on that.
There's no footprints on the door. As I say,
I can show you the footprints.
Right, well, it's not us, okay?
Okay.
If you want to check my thread, it's up to yourselves. I'm not doing now, no, because, you know, I don't need to.
Hey? Yeah. Did somebody disagree?
It happens from time to time, yeah.
But everything's orchestrated for everybody to be in fucking debt. Now we've just, because what the energy companies are doing, it's supposed to be 6 big energy companies. There's not. It's fucking can't. There's one big company who owns a lot. So you go to different companies thinking you're being charged by one fucking company, one corporation. So what they do is, if you can debt, and you try and seek remedy with them, these energy companies won't play ball. So what they'll do is, they'll go to the court and say, yeah, well, we'll help them, Your Honour, we'll put a prepayment meter in. So what they're doing is, they're getting prepayment meters in, and it fucking costs them double. Right. You can't afford to you take 30,000 people, 30,000 old people who've paid into the system, and you know what I mean? It's fucking beyond the joke.
No, I understand.
But they're picking on the weak and the vulnerable.
What we've just done today is that these energy companies will issue a warrant to forced entry. But the only way they can issue a warrant to forced entry is if there's a health and safety breach, with a leaking pipe or anything like that. You can't force entry on a monetary system. Not where I know, because I know for a fact you can't.
Well, we can, because I've done it in this job, honestly. I've not done it often, but I have done it, honestly.
According to someone, if you don't send you once you've been in and living.
That's when it's civil debt.
Yeah, that's what I'm on about civil debt. I'm not into anything commercial side.
Yeah, because this is
commercial is different.
This is criminal.
Yeah, but you're not you're just a third party. You don't work directly for the Crown enforcing criminal matters.
No, we work for Marstons, but we represent the court.
They can't delegate. They don't have the right to delegate their authority to a third party. This is where we disagree.
Yeah. the problem we're going to have, and this is going to be, and we need to, and obviously your organisation, and obviously whatever enforcement agency.
We're defending the weak people,
right?
So we're going to stand up for their rights, right? So if we can agree not to pick on the weak people, then we might have an accord.
The situation is, right, if we attended this address, right, and the occupant was basically property, okay, and we had a single mother with no assets, what do you think we'd do? Do you think we'd take them assets? Or do you think we'd do a report back to the court saying that person, okay, is going through poverty hardship, okay, return the case back to the court station, that case is then attachment to benefits, okay, or attachment to earnings. That's the way we do it. If there's somebody like this who's basically not cooperating, okay, and the offence, okay, obviously I've got to think about data protection, I can't obviously want to tell you, then fair enough, okay, and we go and the assets is to remove, then we don't want to do it. Tell you now, I've been doing this for 10 years, and how many between me and you now, for your recording, I've been doing this job 10 years, right? How many times do you think I've done removal? and I'll be completely honest with you.
Probably not that many.
I've done it once when I've had to do it. Another baby.
But can I just say something then as well? A lot of it's stay hungry, and when you mention the removal teams on the way, people find them in the peg.
Yeah, because we don't want to.
No.
But we can, and I can show you the legislation, President, where we have the powers. This is not civil, it's not so we do because it's criminal.
The legislation you're actually working on, it's Acts of Parliament.
We have identified vulnerabilities of unemployment, which is a vulnerability.
They've done to you what they've not to us, but it's...
Tony Blair, while he was in power, he passed over 3,000 statutes. They're not laws, they're Acts of Parliament. If it was a law, it would say Law of Parliament. It's an Act of law if you agree to be bound by it. So this is where we differ in that they're not. The law of the land in this country.
All we do, okay, what we need to do is we need to basically mediate, and we need to understand, okay, each group's, okay. We need to understand that we work for the courts, okay, and our instruction is from a warrant, okay. What
to the people power.
Yeah, I know that, Wes. I know that. You know what I mean?
Still unemployed as well. So
right.
Isn't that a vulnerability as listed in guidelines?
It's due process, okay. He's a court fine, okay. Yeah. As we know, if he approaches the courts and does a means form, okay, the courts are accommodating where they can have attachment to earnings or attachment to benefits where it is weekly or monthly deductible. Okay. If he's not done that and they issue a warrant, okay, the warrant is then passed to us. We're lawfully bound to send out a letter giving 7 days notice, which we did do. Okay, if they contact our office company, we'll offer a down deposit and a fund. I think he may have done that because the fault's on that it's passed over to an officer, and we have the unfortunate task of coming out, okay, and we are where we are now. We do have the powers of entry if needed, okay. I know you'll disagree with that.
What statutes? So what's the statute that you're relying on? Well,
where's the warrant that gives you the permission to go through the front door? You haven't walked in possession of it.
Yeah,
No. For somebody's property,
we have a warrant. So warrant is live and active.
I've asked you 3 times to show me, we haven't.
Okay, I've just told you.
Well, let's see it then.
it's a digital one, isn't it?
And this is where now we need to realise, okay.
I think we should sit down and discuss it and iron it out.
Absolutely.
So I've asked you this time to see this digital warrant, and you still haven't showed it.
I'll speak to him, Josh, I think.
You've already showed the colleague over there, but I couldn't tell him yet. Just tell him that you showed me the warrant. You've got warrant there. It's alright.
Are you happy for me to show these the details of your warrant? Are you happy for him to show us the warrant? You're happy with it to show it him, yeah? The warrant that I've got in the system for you.
You see the warrant. See where the bleeding on it.
Are you happy for me to show it him?
You're going up in the world, aren't you? A bit of export. Why are you so interested in who I am?
Yeah, please.
Why are you so interested in who I am?
Just 1 second there.
Sorry. How can you have your identification? When you're out and about, you're supposed to be showing your identification. And you're hiding it at the minute, so no one can see it.
Sorry, I know, what would you say on the phone? Let's mediate, let's hang this over and civilise on the side. So we have a system on our phones, right, when we send an address, we have to do a warrant match, okay?
Today. Because he thought, I'm going to come and meet these fuckers. Didn't you?
Right. What we have to do, okay, I've got to think about that section now, right, but it comes up, all the warrants to this address, alright, on this estate, okay? So, like I said to you both, it would be illegal if he sends an address now, okay, to serve a warrant, and he doesn't do a warrant match, say for example, and then there's another one that he's not got and another officer, then he could get paid on this case now, okay, and then tomorrow the officer could come say to his missus, with further charges. That would be unreasonable, yeah, would it not? So that's come and addressed. So we've done a warrant match and he's come back. The original warrant he's come for, it's gone away. This is a new tenant. So, basically, he's given identification and he's come up that there's a warrant outstanding for him. Okay? So all we need to do is to see if that warrant is live and active, which it is, and it's in our system. Okay? And we can enforce that warrant. Okay? We don't need any paperwork. And this is, you look this up, okay? I'm not saying anything untoward. Okay? It tells us that it's live and active. It gives us the case details, the case history. This is a part payment, this isn't it?
Part payment, yeah, he's made payment towards it, yeah.
He's paid that, right? Right, so he's made a part payment to the courts, okay, so it's come across to us as a part payment case. The courts, it used to be back in the day, the courts wouldn't accept payment, okay, but they will accept payment now. And all they do is inform Marstons and do a balance adjustment to say, right, still enforce the order, but take off the £10 he's paid us, okay?
But you can't legally force entry then.
Right, but we can. Right.
Not without a warrant of entry.
Right.
You have a walking possession agreement, you know that.
Right, you keep saying walking possession, that's now changed. There's no such thing as a warrant. It's a warrant of control agreement now. Okay, so...
It still doesn't give you authorisation to kick someone's door in or
no,
use force.
you don't kick the door. What happens is... what you're saying is... Right, listen.
Excuse me. Got someone from your company ringing me up and telling me it's been asleep.
What?
Someone from your company ringing me up and told me the police on to let me in.
Someone from me, that... Oh, well then.
Right, it's not going to be us, is it? We're not going to ring them up.
We're not ringing anybody up.
So what you're saying about, okay, a working possession or a basic working control, okay, agreement, if that is where it's civil debt, if it's a parking offence, TMA case, or council tax. Quite right. The office haven't got, okay. Well, we do. That's the that's not a problem. Okay, I will do very shortly, you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is what you're saying is about the taking control of goods agreement, okay, is that is when it's civil debt, an officer's been in and basically
Levied.
So, well, it's not, we can't even call it levy now, it's taking control of goods, they then sign the agreement.
Well, here's the thing I can argue with though, know what goods means? Goods means if you're going to put them up for sale or for auction.
Yeah,
no, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the occupier. They haven't got personal possessions, they haven't got good property.
Right. Well, again,
you can't go and obtain personal possessions.
So what we're saying is now, okay, that's then, the officer then does have the right, if they break that arrangement, that agreement, then the officer does have the right to. Obviously, because he's listed him and took control of him, they then belong to, obviously, the court, sorry, the council, okay, whoever they represent. So then lawfully, yeah, the officer can, right? When it's a court fine, we do have the powers of entry, legislation, Domestic Violence, Crimes and Victims Act, 2004.
I was just going to mention that to you, because, I'm not joking, just been in court, and the girl, I think the kids were up to about an older, so because the government are that bad, so they say, they've enforced the fine of 60 quid. That fine now has gone from 60 quid, so was it 460 quid?
Yeah.
460. That's about bailiff stuff on as well.
Obviously.
She's attended and it's stated, I don't know, photograph of it before.
I'm not going on you.
You're famous.
Oh, but it's good.
It's not for me.
It's not only you.
No, it's not.
People have been walking past you in the pub and going,
yeah,
that's him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now then, so if you end up sat on your ass, don't blame us.
Yeah, thanks for that. You wear it both sides of
so, what? I don't know where you got it from. So this is off a warrant. The way I want it, right, for that property, yeah. When the police arrive, yeah, they will then say, police have got powers to enter, and we'll say, we want to see it, proof of it. So the police want it.
The police will know that anyway.
I will have to damage on it.
You had a walking possession agreement last time. Warrant of control last time, and they still told you.
So the police didn't say anything to us. Okay. That's what they said. What I've got to think about in that situation there, my actions, okay, because there's that many of you, okay, then I'm then putting the police in the situation, okay, and I'm also putting the occupants. Listen, like I've said to you all along, I've got no issue with what you do, absolutely not, and I respect it to a certain degree because you are looking at it, but you've got to understand our position, we're here to do a job, okay, and these people don't forget people, he's not had just a warrant passed over to us and we come out straight away saying we're going to force him to remove goods. It's not a case of that. He's had ample opportunity from the courts. We send that letter giving 7 days notice. If he contacts us, we then will offer a down deposit and so many weeks to clear the balance. So everybody's trying to help that person, that debtor, and if they don't check it up, then... Now my main concern with all us at this moment in time, the only disagreement we've got is the warrant. Is the fact you're going to sit, like you said to me before, I'm not to challenge any officer. What I am going to do, I'm going to challenge the paperwork, okay? And we're going to show you, and we get this all the time, we're going to show you, okay, paperwork, as you say, and I know exactly what you're going to say, like this man said here, it's not signed by a judge. And I'm going to turn around and say to you, it doesn't have to be, okay? It is, well, right.
Let me just explain something to you now. Right, I've got a checkbook.
No, I haven't.
You've got a checkbook? Have you ever possessed a checkbook?
I have done, yeah.
Right, so on your checkbook you've got your name printed on it, yeah? Clearly printed on it. So if you write your check out, don't sign it, go to the cashier, into the bank, and try and do a transaction to get your money, and refuse it. Why will they refuse it? Because you've not signed the check. So the reason for the signature and the name you can click, that's why it's printed on the check, is to make it a legal binding instrument so you can do that goods of exchange. So you're exchanging the check, get cash out of the bank. It makes it legal. What's happening here for the courts, with the system, with all the corporations, with your company, you check all the paperwork, that's it, yeah? They're customers, basically, the way we see it. Nobody from your company will give their signature, and if they do, it'll be a squiggle, a name you cannot recognise. And when they do sign,
not Marstons or Bristol or Suter.
No, but we because as a man, take uniform off, just get back down to a man. You don't work for Marstons, you don't work for corporation. You're a man, but that man, to be liable, has to give a signature and a name that's recognisable. Now if you go home, just go look at your bills. In fact, look at your gas bills, your electric bills. Not even bills, you know what they are? Statements. But because they're all committed fraud.
Right, well, I mean, I can't pass comment on that, because obviously...
We need to do a bailiff intervention, don't we?
Right, what we need to do is really resolve this matter, because, you know...
Until we see a warrant that says you can open that door legally, we're not going to allow you to go in.
Well, you don't have to allow us.
Well, we'll phone the police and say...
It would be an assault if you touched us to move us out of the way.
Listen, mate, I'm a woman, not a fighter, mate. Calm down, you know what I mean?
If you try to enter the property, we will ring the police, and we will tell them that you're causing a breach of the peace.
Yeah.
No, we've not phoned the police, they've phoned the police.
This is what the police are. We've come all the way. We've come all the way from Bury. That's how.
Do you want to just do one-on-one and see if there's any police? Right.
What you intended suppression?
What I'm intending.
Well, he's alleged that you were kicking his door as well.
That's why we wear body cameras, you know what I mean?
So did you have your camera on when you first arrived? You said you've had it off all this time.
I've had it off now because I'm having to talk to you, you know what I mean? Okay? I don't need to record it. Because like I said, if we meet again, I'll shake your hand and we'll discuss the matter, okay? They won't fully like you, mate.
You did last time.
Yeah,
watching our videos?
Yeah. I've not watched it.
Well, what's your plan of action?
Okay.
What we can do... No, it won't be, I don't think. The officer can leave, okay, correspondence, okay, and then basically, alright, we'll give him 7 days notice, okay. The card that we leave...
Could you give him 7 days notice before you come?
They've had 7 days with the letter we have.
Have you actually got proof that they received that letter?
It's on, we send it out. I mean, the amount of times, right, John, I go to properties, the amount of times I go to properties and I say, right, you've had a 7 day letter, if you'd contacted our office, we could have helped you out, we could have offered you van deposit, so we could clear the balance. Not an issue, okay? I've not had that letter. I will then turn around and say to that person, well, I've not physically posted the letter, okay, so I can't say. And a lot of people will say to us, can you not do it the recorded delivery? Okay.
Well, that then you know the person
exactly, but they won't do it.
And that ends that
makes my job easier then, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? Think about what you just said there, because when these courts are sending stuff out, council, like council tax and that.
No, I know it's not recorded. I know it's not. I know. But the amount of times on the same token.
You know why it's not recorded? Because they've got to get there at that end have to give a signature.
But what I will say to you is, when I've been in property myself and had a letter, and then I look on a mantelpiece, and there's a Marstons letter there.
That's fair enough.
You know what I mean? So
But you do know how unreliable Royal Mail is, though, don't you? Come on, how many letters have you rang up about this?
I know people do, yeah.
Have you never noticed with like monetary letters that it's just disappearing in the post? So,
I think the best way to do this, okay, what we'll do, okay, the officer will leave a notice given 7 days, okay, instructing him if payment's not made, and it will quote the legislation that I've said to you about, okay, and then what we will then do, okay, is we would have to come back, okay, and this is what I don't want to happen, because there's officers now basically saying, you're saying we can't do it, and we can do it.
well, from the guidelines that we've read,
I understand.
The legislation that we've read, right, says that you cannot force entry without a warrant, right?
Right.
So if you don't tenant and we're here to enter a property without a warrant, right, legislation also states that reasonable force can be used to stop you. So if you attempt to do anything while we're about, we're going to try and stop you.
And the question is, would we force entry without the police being present?
Well, you're
force entry.
Come on, you've been caught with your pants down now.
No, not at all.
What did you say to us on the phone that time?
We would force entry, but we'd have the police.
No. You told us. Do you want me to play the video to you?
We don't want me to play the video to you. Right. We would always know. But like I said to you on the phone, you don't know. You didn't know that I was in that property, okay, and I give time.
Talk about that. Well,
okay. Okay, well, alright, then. Well, I'm not recording, by the way. I don't need to.
We just want to put you on YouTube later.
Well, the only thing is mode and flight mode.
Right, okay. So I think the best thing to do is to resolve this now, okay? We'll leave the correspondence, okay? But I really think that something needs to be done regarding the fact that with this, you're saying you need a signed warrant, okay?
Because we need the legislation.
Right, we're saying you don't. We need to identify the facts, okay? Can we do what we're doing? Are you saying we can't and we're doing something? I mean, I would never do something unlawful. You know,
let me just explain this one thing to you. The law of the land in this country is common law. Right? The law of land is stated in the Magna Carta of 1215. We know it's common law, right, because Parliament simply didn't exist then. So what are they talking about?
Common law never gets taught in school, and it surely never gets taught.
Common law, you only get charged in court, right? If there are offence to do with the road, you get charged under the Road Traffic Act, right, which is an actual statute. If you get charged with murder, you get charged with common law. Common law.
Yeah.
You murdered somebody. So common law is still in this country. So you can't go running round. You can't have common law in it one day and then not the next day. You've got to either decide whether you want it or you don't. We've got it.
So if you're claiming that statute's a law, what you've got to first explain to me is why it says the law of the land in the Magna Carta of 1215.
With law and lawful, two different things.
Right, okay. All we do, you get the warrant, we act on the warrant. That's all we can do. Okay?
Yeah, well, that's why we don't blame you, because you've got some gimp at your office there telling you this is the first thing to work, go and do it.
You've been duped. It's as simple as that. Right? We've all been con for quite a while.
Alright, if I worked for Marstons and I was right at the very, very top of Marstons, yeah, and I told you, this is lawful to go and kill that man if he doesn't pay you, would you then go and do it?
Absolutely not.
No, see, there you go then. So, but if I'm the top man in Marstons telling you that, yeah,
but it's not Marstons.
Would you believe?
It's not Marstons, is it? It's the body speaks from the court.
When is it else?
You know the court for the corporation, don't you?
Yeah, but they're still duking this, and making you believe. When it all comes crashing down, yeah, you're going to ring us up, or you're going to come and see us, and you're going to go, fuck me.
You know the police for the corporation?
You're already out of a job, and you need us to come and stop the bailiffs coming chomping on your balls.
Police for the corporation.
Right.
You know how I know? When they shot the cousin dead, this is how I found out there was a corporation. Peter Sayers, he sits himself every time I'm meeting. He has been charged because he's the corporate soul of the corporation. But, because my cousin got shot dead, it's nothing to do with that. It's because his employees were put in danger when they shot the cousin dead, because they were running around the fucking car when they pulled the trigger. Right? So that's the only. So people think he's getting done for our answer being shot. He's not. What happens is, if he gets found guilty, there's a sort of social breach regarding our answer being shot dead on the scene. It's the scene, not him. The scene. The public, the taxpayer, pays the fine, which goes into the justice system, where you can't get fucking justice for. And that's when I just went, hello, something not fucking right here, and that something is everything. You know, you've got Labour, Conservatives, all the shit is politics, controlled by the fucking banking mafia cartel. They're sat at the top, the corporations are at the top, yeah, controlling fucking everything, and that's where this conflict of interest is, where are all in it for profit.
What's your initial job to coming out here? What you after? Money.
That's what we have to do.
Okay, well, okay, that's just what you're told to do. What's it worth?
Me.
He's prepared to pay it, but he wants some time to pay it.
Right. What we'll do, okay, alright. Can I just say something to you now, okay, and I want you to be completely honest in front of these people now, okay? Right, when you get that court fine, was it a fixed penalty issued by the police?
No.
It wasn't, so you actually went into court. Were you found guilty?
Yeah, it was a fixed penalty.
Yeah, I know it was a fixed penalty, okay, but right, okay, so it was a fixed penalty issued by the police. On that notice that's given to you, it will say you pay within 28 days. If you have difficulty to phone a number up, okay, and they can, right.
10 days.
Alright, okay.
Right, can I just tell you something? Listen. You go to the court and get an MC 100 form.
Go on.
If you go to the court, get an MC 100 form, fill it out, deal direct with the court, and offer something you can afford, not that you can't afford, so you stick to it.
Yeah.
You don't stick to it.
That's right, yeah. Yeah,
That's what I mean. I missed well payment, I forgot to pay it.
Right, okay, so you've done what you've been put on arrangement with the court.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'll put the court. If you pay straight, pay £5 a week. What a lot of people are doing, you're not doing that, they'll pay £10 a fortnight.
Well, I'll tell you another story about that.
The fixed penalties are against the Bill of Rights.
And the charge them £300 for paying it early. How does that work out right? That's unjust, isn't it?
I find and then make no payment about that. I want to pay someone next week. And then I've got a grip of a letter 3 days later saying we've got 7 days to pay, so quid for it.
Yeah, well, that's corporate policy.
What we'll do, okay, and then what we'll, obviously when you defaulted, when you did, right, when you did you have a letter from Marstons? Be honest now, right, so we sent out a letter, okay, right, did you contact our office?
No, I didn't.
Right, if you would have contacted our office, if you would have contacted our office, we would have offered you a down deposit and told you we should clear the balance. So the courts have tried to be reasonable with you, Marstons have tried to be reasonable with you, and when you don't contact you within the 7-day period, you get further charges and an officer's come out, okay?
Yeah.
And that's where we are now, alright? So what I'm going to do under the circumstance, I've just been called here, okay, because apparently you're a little bit aggressive, alright? I don't know if that is, but this is what I right. However, listen to me, okay? What we'll do, we will give you time, we'll give you 7 days notice, okay? Right? I'm going to leave, okay, I'm going to get the officer to leave a card with the legislation with the powers of entry, okay? And if you don't pay with that officer within that 7 days, okay, he will come back, okay, with the powers of entry and we'll check control of goods. Is that being reasonable?
Yeah, that's reasonable. Is
that being reasonable? 230p, I know you're not going to agree.
We want us to pay court direct.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen. Right.
Because he's governor, he's unemployed, isn't he?
I'm just coming here because
That's what I mean. I can't even afford to ring you. I can't ring all people.
With the greatest spot. Greatest respect, you know, this is where it gets. This is the last resort.
I have one chance to ring them.
You have two chances. You had once with the court and once with Marstons.
No, I have one chance.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
The fixed penalties against the Bill of Rights 1689, the fact that they've given an on-the-spot fine is illegal, it's null and void, you don't owe anything.
See, we don't know.
That's what they're relying on, people not knowing, and just ridiculous. It's the law of the land.
He's food up for that, he won't work, so he's saying exactly what you just said to me. So get that letter from the court, so that in.
Yeah. But what they try to do is contract with you, make an arrangement so you keep paying.
You're bound in it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're bound in it.
C100 is to deal directly with the court, not with the bailiff.
So yeah, if you don't have faith in, like, you know, arguing the actual cost of the court, just pay the fine and don't pay the bailiff fee. They can't enforce it. The courts won't enforce a bailiff fee.
That's what I mean. No. That's why I had no contact with the opman.
No, we've got it in writing. They will not enforce it.
The best thing's not to get you sued, not make contact.
Don't contract. But they're breaking the law of the land, like the Bill of Rights 1689, very important document. Any fine or forfeiture given to you must be in a court of law. If it's done outside of the court, it's null and void, and everything that follows is null and void as well. So all your parking tickets and things like that, they're all a load of nonsense. Right, so you're fixed penalty.
Yeah. Apart from the one that I got from the court.
Unlawful. No, I'm saying it's unlawful. They've got no right to give it you, and the fact that they have given you on the spot, wipes out everything after that. But if you just want to deal with the court and pay that, then just stick with that.
Well, who's the court from the court?
Well, to do the phone business, make the arrangement and just the actual fine that you were given in the first place, not all these ridiculous fees that jump the fines up to. No, they're getting this technical thing, where you pay £10 a fortnight instead of £5 a week. It's the same thing. It's a huge scam. Yeah. But you need to do a bit of research and get find out about it, and then you know you're on solid ground and you can argue. Yeah, anytime. But they're seeing a lot more of us. But it's all about keeping us poor, right? It's the rich people at the top. They've got more money than they can possibly spend. It's not about the money. The money's not worth anything. It's just about keeping us down, right? Keeping us poor, struggling, gas. I don't pay gas, electric, water rates, council. I don't pay any of it because it's all an illusion. It's already paid for. Okay. He's gonna send them away. Yes.
It's not supposed to fucking know.
Putting me in a position now.
Oh, you're right on it. He's supposed to be raising it out now. Oh, he's thinking I'm fucking head in the outfit.
What a man, what are you?
Not bad.
Same.
And then we give 7 days notice, and then if not, obviously speak to the court.
Obviously we paid it in the meantime. It's fine.
Alright, okay. Is that fair enough, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy with that, yeah.
Serves me on, serves me out. Okay, girls.
Hey, you're not shaking mine like we said we would do. I'll even shake your hand, mate. You scare me a little bit, you. It's not many black.
It's finished on the road.
We've been in court.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
Just look it up.
But it can be, okay.
I think you should look into the law of the land.
What's he trying to do down there?
No, what we have to do is obviously he'll speak to the police now, and then if the police want to come over, we'll speak to. If say you were like the protector, you have to step otherwise. We'll be shouting over, and the police can't obviously. Because when the police attend, they've got to mediate. It's a good idea. For them and get them to sign it. You're like, do we get like the CAB?
Well,
sign it.
No, that.
And they said,
well, like I've just done then, Anna.
yeah, but he wouldn't have it before. He kept saying, I'm not talking to you.
It's all about being reasonable, isn't it? And,
Even I don't have to talk to you. I said, look, he's telling you now, you can speak to me. And he's going, yeah, you can. I'm still not talking to you.
yeah, but he needs a love. He needs loving and he needs a love. Well, it's smacking round the head. That's all, isn't it? That's the way father. Loves and love.
But my main concern is now is this with the warrant, with
But
you're going to say that
we've been told it's unlawful.
Right.
And the legislation states it's unlawful.
Who's told you that though?
Well, you read the legislation properly.
We've got solicitors and barristers that go over this.
Who hides behind that curtain?
No idea, I can't be
The
proud.
Marstons who are running the fun set and who are being used as foot soldiers in the fun set.
Right.
You.
We're here to do a job.
Yeah,
Unethically.
then again, we can talk about paying the bills, I'll stop paying fucking everything. Why? Because it's already been paid for.
Right.
What is the money worth?
Look, see, we have a hotline now for all our...
You've got a £20 note, it says I promise to pay the bearer. What does he promise to pay?
Say again, sorry.
The note, if you got a note and have a look at it, says I promise to pay the bearer £20. What's it worth?
The note?
Yeah.
Do you mean money?
We've got to pay for that.
Any note, you promise to pay.
Where currency came from originally, everybody took, say, for argument's sake, right, I've got X amount of gold, right, and you put it in the bank, and they gave you a promissory note, that's yours, yeah, right? So when you wanted it, you went back with your promissory note and said, no, this is gold. And then you went and bought something with gold. You didn't buy it with a shitty piece of paper.
No, there's no gold in circulation.
Why do you think all this money that they're finding from years and years and years ago is all gold and silver they're finding on the ground? Because it's gold and silver. That was the currency.
I mean, the amount of times that we do question,
in the £20 note, it's meant to be £20 of silver at one point, isn't it? But we've got that complacent and let the law run over us. That £20 of silver is now just a worthless piece of shit in the middle of a piece of paper. Basically tinfoil.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, will do. You okay, sir? So everything's resolved now. Put the floor now. I appreciate that. It can't be now up to you. But as far as you're concerned, everything is now resolved in respect of that. Any other issues you need to raise, anything you want to talk about? Everything's sorted now. Lovely. Thanks for the time. No worries.
Can you explain how you're wearing a taser today, please, officer?
Yeah, the taser trained officers part of Great Manchester Police's response unit.
Okay, are they standard issue now?
No, to certain officers they are. Yeah.
Well, they're in Hull.
Pardon?
They're in Hull. If you go to Hull, right, they've issued them right to most of the officers.
All the officers there?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be a forced decision, no doubt.
Yeah.
As long as the training is done correctly, I can't see it being an issue.
Stop, stop. It is a firearm, yes.
What is the firearm unit?
Because they're creeping them in.
Well, it's armed or something. No,
Guns.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm out for a bit of air.
give him a hug, he needs a hug.
Oh, God. What a day.
It's not very nice, is it?
No.
But you need to get onto it, what he was saying.
You just said them the police have resolved everything, you went, yeah, it's done now.
Well, yeah, figure out what it's worth.
So what?
You got £20 now, figure out what it's worth.
Oh, stop.
I wouldn't yank it out, because like,
Fair play for that.
I thought what we said was get the documentation of it and bring the boys down, and that's why I was called, just to come down, just obviously to make sure there was no sickness or anything like that.
Oh, but under the law, right, like the police, right, has to go to a judge, right? So don't understand how you lot try and be above the law, right? If the police...
Well, nobody's being above the law.
Well, you are, though, because if you look at it, right, if the police won't come along in there, right, they've got to go to a magistrate, they've got to give the reasons why they want to go through the front door, and the magistrate's got to sign it, right? What you're telling me is, you can skip the middleman out, and you can just...
Not me personally.
Well, can you not see how your paperwork's not right, though? Well, why does an officer of the law have to go and get a magistrate to sign a document to say that he can authorise entry through that door?
This is where...
So do you not think, does that not make your head think, does it not make you stop and think, hang on a minute, he's an officer of the law, I'm just an enforcement officer, right? You have no more powers, he has more powers than you, a lot more than you.
Not serving a warrant.
No.
Not serving a warrant.
As a police officer, no, what I mean is, as far as somebody goes through the front door, he has more powers than you to go through the front door once he's got his warrant signed. So what I'm saying is, how does your paperwork suddenly skip the middleman?
Because it's direct from the court, rather than on the advice report. That's what I'm...
Listen,
Is that court du jour?
tell me, yeah? That liability...
Is that court du jour?
I was in court the other day.
You're arguing that with the wrong thing. You're arguing that with the court.
We knew it was good in court. That's me name. So, like, James of the Bradley family, that's where I live. I said, there's a lot coming out. That's me the date of birth. I said, that's merely hearsay. There's a lot of stuff I've only got my mum and dad to go by. And my mum and dad have told me that this is real. It's a moving programme.
You're joking, mate.
Unlucky, no. Well, the truth story, and they threw me out the court and issued a warrant, even though they knew it was me. But that was a warrant, yeah, signed by a judge. So why does your warrant miss the middleman out? You have a warrant of control which allows you to go to the house and say, please will you pay this?
They're just making it easier to take money
your warrant of control.
But that's not Marstons.
Please will you pay this bill? No, but that's your warrant of control, is please will you pay this bill?
By the court.
Doesn't give you authorisation for entry to the property unless they let you in.
Right.
That's where
this is where we need to obviously try and basically win it. Like I said to you before, he's given 7 days notice now. Hopefully he'll pay it. Yeah. If he doesn't, then we would have to come back, and what we would do is possibly not like the other week in Little Bolton, but if you wanted to come back, okay, and basically we'd show the officers the paperwork, and then basically we would have to enter.
But that doesn't give you forced entry, it's still not signed, does it? I can like it. Right, I see where I'm coming from.
This is the guideline. Well, this is not us. I'm not saying this to you.
I could have served you with a document today. Right, where you're parked today, I could have served you with a document and you with a document, and I could have gone both them vehicles. And I could have said to you, right, that's £500. That's £500. Is that RABC? That's £500 for you now to pay me before I remove that clamp. You can ask that officer there as much as you like to remove that clamp, yeah? He won't. He'll tell you it's a civil matter. So you have to pay me £500. Then I give you 2 hours.
Why are you doing this? Why don't you just do that then?